And for more on the developments that came out of yesterday's hearing, let's bring in Harvard professor and astrophysicist Avi Loeb. Professor Loeb, always great to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time. So we just heard from Joe Khalil there. What was your biggest takeaway from what happened yesterday there in Congress?
Well, it was the fact that David Grosh is willing to provide details, contact details of those who had first-hand experience. That's very important because he himself only heard 40 witnesses and can talk about documents that he saw, but he didn't really see any material evidence. And that is key for us to get more knowledge of what really is in possession of government. So the next step, of course, is for the representatives to approach those and ask for more details, because we need firsthand testimonies. We also would appreciate having more information about what kind of materials, where are the materials, why were they not disclosed. This should not be a matter of national security, because if we are talking about non-human technologies, they should be of interest to all humans. It's a subject that scientists should get engaged and help government to figure out what they have at their possession. The government is primarily focused on national security matters. That's interactions between nations here on Earth. When something comes from the sky, it's not the government's business, it's the business of scientists.
All right, so Professor, I mean, what do you think happens in this skiff that Joe was just talking about and will what happens in the skiff eventually become public?
Well, my guess is that there were details about the specific individuals that David Grosh knows about, that have first-hand evidence about those programs that he was talking about. That's really key, because otherwise you can always imagine that David Grosh may have heard some fabricated story from someone that has no direct context in the real world. But once they start interviewing those individuals who had been part of these programs, they will get full information about what's out there. And if there is something real, if there is a fire behind the smoke, then we will all learn about it. Because, as I said before, this should not be a matter of national security if it has to do with interstellar space.
And we did get a little information on what's behind these. Let's listen.
If the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
And just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
Now, was the aircraft that you were flying, was it armed?
No, never felt threatened at all.
If the aircraft was armed, do you believe that your aircraft or any aircraft in possession of the United States could have shot the Tic Tac down?
I'd say no. Just on the performance, it would just left in a split second.
It looks like that we have a problem here that needs further investigation.
All right, so Professor, I know you were listening to the entire hearing. You certainly heard that takeaway. What did you take from that?
Well, if it's technologies, then these are not representative of what we possess, okay? Because otherwise, these pilots would be aware of that. And the question is whether, you know, there is another nation that possesses technologies we are not aware of, or it may have originated from outside of this Earth, in which case scientists should look into that. The problem is we don't have direct access to the data that David Fravor was talking about. But if there is any material evidence, you know, that the type of spacecraft, alien spacecraft that David Grosh was talking about, let's see it. Let's examine it. Let's figure out what it means. That's for scientists to figure out, not for the government to figure out, because the government is not a scientific organization.
All right. Well, Harvard professor Avi Loeb, always appreciate speaking with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.